I don't know how to start this, but first of all, I want to say hello. My name is JT, and I'm just regular dude. I kind of wanted to talk about loving yourself. By definition, um, loving yourself is enjoying the type of person you are. And I feel like, especially with kids at a young age, I want to bring awareness to men that feel that they can't love themselves. It's not an easy task. It's not easy to love yourself. Um, it's kind of a lot to ask. We tend to judge ourselves extensively. We are our own biggest critics. We see our own flaws much more than other people will. It's easy to succumb to what you call yourself. And it doesn't help if people are also adding on to that narrative. I'm not necessarily a professional, but I feel like if I could bring any type of awareness to kind of for young men, as myself, of course, to talk about their feelings to people, because being a guy, it's pretty much implemented that you keep things to yourself and you just lock in, especially with this younger generation. So many influences on social media that we see of these, let's say, looks maxers. I've seen online of people promoting very illegal substances to perform better or to look better, to be a peacock for other birds, to get the best version of yourself. We're never going to achieve that. Essentially, in psychology, it is shown that we are never going to reach the best version of ourselves. That's just an unattainable goal that we'll continue to be striving for. Sometimes when you start following the bad influences of people, you start to kind of question yourself, why am I doing this? I can give a good example. When I was in high school, I didn't want to go partying. I felt like at the time, for me, it seemed kind of silly to go party and have drinks while being under the age and kind of putting myself in a position where I could ruin my future, in the sense. As a kid, I can guarantee you, they're just there to have a good time. They want to have a good time. They want to make memories. I'm young once. I can get away with this. I never did because I saw the pretty bad effects that could have on people. In high school, you're easily influenced a lot because you want to fit in, and it's understandable. I've been through that before. You want to be appealing to people because that is your world. Again, that is not the case for everyone. But if you feel like you have to perform a certain way or act a certain way in order to fit in, unfortunately, you've already succumbed to an influence. You're changing yourself just to appeal to people. And I wanted to kind of bring awareness to that there's countless of people that stay silent about these things that they feel wrong about, just so they don't get abandoned and left out of a clique. I feel like as a teenager, your priorities are I am not a teenager anymore. I don't know what the young generation's priorities are, but if I were to guess based on my experiences, is to maybe fit in, make some friends, and maybe get some good grades. People kind of put so much pressure nowadays to make themselves look good for another woman, or in the other instance for another male. It's different for everyone, but I feel like people put a lot of focus on that. I think it's kind of ruining the young generation because, in a sense, you're always so caught up on your looks. Let me give an example. Going to the gym is perfectly fine. It's recommended. It's healthy for you. Doing exercise is healthy for you. But when it gets to a point when you are having an eating disorder, forcing yourself not to eat these certain foods because an influencer told you not to, that's where it gets a little bit unhealthy and kind of scary. I see online a lot of people stitching videos of like, hey, this is terrible for you, don't eat it because it will make you high cortisol or whatever, right? Kids at a young age focusing on that. As a teenager, honestly, I'm a gamer, right? I was more focused on whatever game I'm gonna play, right? Or my grades. worrying about how you look to the point where it causes you to look into steroids or looks maxing the whole thing. I've not really looked into much of the looks maxers stuff. I'm all for exercising to be healthy, but to the point, I think I am maybe wrong, but I think I've seen a streamer online promoting fentanyl. I'm not sure if it was fentanyl or methamphetamine to kind of make their face look sharp, and that is insane to me. It's pretty insane, and it's scary, because young teenagers can be easily influenced, is what I'm trying to say. They hear some guy that looks conventionally attractive and he is saying, hey, do this, take methamphetamine to look like me, and then that causes a kid to get an addiction, and now he struggles with that addiction, chasing that high, and then that goes, and he's just another number into the statistic. Learn to love how imperfect you are. The most beautiful things are imperfections, because that makes you different from everyone else. Something different is what shines about you. You know, if we were all the same, then no one is special. What makes someone unique nowadays is like, oh, you have this eye lower than the other, or you have your jaw pointing this way. But that's what makes us unique. That's what makes us who we are. We could go into this as a personality thing as well, where you're considered weird for thinking a certain way or liking a certain type of music. Everyone's like, oh, this is the right way. This is the right way. There is no right way. Everyone's just doing what they do. And I feel like as you get older, you start to realize that, hey, I like this. I'll give an example. I really like, what's his name? Anthony Fantano of the Needle Drop, right? The reason why I like his stuff so much is because at the end of the day, no matter what he rates an album, it is his opinion. You have the option to just listen to yourself and be like, you know what? I like this. He's wrong. And that's the beauty of it. Just because he didn't enjoy something that you enjoyed doesn't mean you don't have to. And that's the beauty of it. Realizing these little things can take you to start loving yourself. And now I can't say that loving yourself is an easy road. You know, we all make mistakes. We all have things that we just stick onto, but that's human. It's human to stick onto these things. As long as you are intentionally trying these things to love these parts of yourself, it will start to get more easier for you in the long run. Start to appreciate the little things that you do. Sometimes people aren't fortunate enough to have someone to tell them these things. You know, they appreciate these little quirks of themselves. You got to start learning to appreciate your own quirks. You know, I can give an example. I appreciate how I always try to make someone feel that they're involved in a conversation, no matter what. I always try to make someone feel, you know, that I think that is something I appreciate about myself, because there's ego in appreciation, and people's like, no, there's no ego. You need no ego in your life, which no, you need ego in your life. If you had no ego, you wouldn't be doing anything. There's a reason why we have ego, is to push ourselves to, you know, to do these things. For example, if you're going to the gym, you already love yourself. If you don't even realize it, you love yourself because you're putting in the time to make yourself healthy, to treat your body. If you're going to therapy, or if you're talking to someone about your problems, you love yourself because you're trying your hardest. You're being vulnerable for people just so you can have a peace of mind. That shows that you love yourself. Whether you realize it or not, do things subconsciously because it's for yourself. In nature, we do things for ourselves for survival. And in that sense, it's kind of related to love. You didn't, well, that'd be a different story. And I've seen countless of very good dudes online that would take their own life. And there's one recently that happened. It was, well, I think it was the actor for Eddie. I forget his name, but he played in It Chapter 2. He committed suicide. He was a father of 2 kids, and he committed suicide. So no matter what success looks like to you, no matter what, people are still going to struggle with that. And it starts with you, because you gotta learn to see these little things in this way and sort of accept this is who you are and sort of kind of battle with yourself to maybe love yourself a little bit. I myself struggle with this constantly. It's really hard. I'll be honest about that. Loving yourself is kind of like a chore. It's kind of intentional at first. I shouldn't think like this. I should be more appreciative of this thing. I should be more appreciative of that I'm awake, alive and breathing, just the little things. I feel like I went kind of on a tangent. I don't really have a script for this, guys. So I don't know. I felt like just talking to kind of bring awareness that, even though some people may have it figured out, we all have our own struggles. And just because someone is struggling more than you doesn't mean that your struggle isn't valid, because struggle comes in different levels for different persons and they don't know what it's like to be in your shoes. Some people may have it easier than you, but there's also people that struggle with that. People that have it easy, a sense of guilt because they grew up around something like that and they struggle with that guilt. I might be wrong, but I would like to assume that can be some people that maybe have some guilt for sort of feeling that they're in a position like that, while other people are exclaiming that you have it easy, but struggles are still struggles. All in all, I guess let's break down what I'm trying to say here. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that first step to loving yourself is realizing that little things that you do for yourself, buying yourself that toy that may seem kind of ridiculous, you're doing it for yourself because you know what, you love yourself. You love this specific game, you love this specific perfume, you love this little slime, anything. You do it because when you give someone a gift that means a lot and you really put some effort into it, it's because you care for the person. Getting yourself these things, you care about yourself. It's important to have self-care days. Take some time for yourself, because especially in this day and age, it's so quick to just get lost in work, school, or anything. Get caught up in all these things. Don't take the time to slow down and take some time for yourself. I think I checked out all the things that I kind of wanted to talk about. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this channel. Just kind of wanted to, talk about these things, kind of bring awareness that you're not alone about these things. And if you have any stories that you would like to share, I would be down to read them in the next video, and I would be down to talk about it if you are willing to share your story. If there's also any other topics you would like me to delve into, they will be topics that I will find interesting, that I will choose. So I will be able to get to all of them. Something that I find interesting that I might want to talk about, I will choose out of the comments. So make sure you comment. I don't care about leaving a like. I just want you to sit and listen, see what you think. All right. See ya.